So you guys ready for me to kick off the lore? I want to try to keep it in
Let's go.
chronological
Go.
order.
Go.
So
Go.
we had our first incident, right? We talked about that.
Yeah.
And now I'm fast forwarding to 2006. And I don't know, were you guys aware of DSP versus Viscount, that whole thing that I shared with you?
We want to hear that again for sure. So
Okay, so if you look up DSP versus Viscount, and it'll show you a Reddit link, and it'll be Viscount explaining that. But these two guys, long story short, we're talking shit. DSP always talking shit. So Jay's like, "Hey, you want to go? Let's go." Like I may look like, if you guys know Viscount, like he's famous for the versus LTG thing, right? So you know how he looks or whatever. Shout out to Jay Snyder, Viscount. But Viscount, he knows how to fight. Like he practices martial arts and this and that. So he was like, "All right, let's go." So they plan it out, and they talk about getting a ring, and Phil's talking about having like a medic there and all these other terms, this and that. And when it starts getting down to close to that time, then Phil private messages Jay and says, "Hey man, so yeah, when we have everybody there and we're about to fight or whatever, let's just do like a DX crotch chop and all laugh at everybody, like, hey, we fooled you." And Jay was upset. He was like, "Dude, I really wanted to like fuck you up and fight, dude. Like now you're telling me you wanna do some like troll joke or whatever." So he blows it off.
Yeah.
He blows it off, and I guess they're everything's squashed. So they talk casually again, and the next year comes around, and there's the Evo East, there's the Evo West, and then there's a main Evo in Vegas. And the Evo West, he wanted to come out to San Diego, and he said he was broke, right? So he wanted to stay with Viscount. So Viscount let him stay with them. But prior to that, sorry for the chronological order, a lot of this stuff I had to recall for you guys. So before that was the incident where DSP went on IRC and was talking all this shit to Mike Watson, calling him a fat ass and washed up and everything, a whole bunch of stuff that you wouldn't say to Mike Watson's face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Mike Watson, like DSP said, DMs him and say, "Hey, when I see you, I'll fuck you up, bro. Like that's it. You know what I mean? You're done." So, and Mike Watson's like my best friend. You know what I mean? So he lets me and all the boys know. I'm like, all right, let's go, man. It's on. So DSP is staying at Viscount's house. And there was one night we were staying in a hotel San Diego. Mike was like, "Yo, I'll be back." I'm like, "Where you going, Mike?" And it's like, "Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it." All right, I guess he didn't want to bring us or whatever. He went to Viscount's house, and then he asked Jay, "He's like, hey, is that fucker? Is he there? He's there?" Like, because he wanted to like, he's ready to like, he was hunting him. He was like, bro, he's about to whoop his ass at his house. And Mike was like, "All right, I don't want to disrespect your house." But Jay was like, "Hey, he's gonna be at Evo West all weekend. Catch him over there." We're like, "All right, bet." So now you got to remember this was taking place at Comic-Con, right? So Comic-Con, it's a huge place, all these vendors, all these booths, and then when you go in like the back one of the doors, there's a room, an empty room, and then in that room they had all the arcade set, all the consoles set up and everything, and that's where the Evo West was going on. Now, we didn't want to ruin the Evo event, and we didn't want to do anything at Comic-Con because respect for the event, number one. Number two is, like, if you fight in a club, you might get like one punch off, fight gets broken up by security, that's it. We really wanted to do damage. Like, yo, we want to catch this guy where we're gonna hospitalize him. You know what I mean? Like, make him bleed, like for the shit that he was talking. We don't want just like one punch broken up type shit. That's the way we were. And so so we see him at the tournament. We're stalking him and everything. That year, I think it was 2006. 300, the movie was big. They were promoting the DVD, so they were handing out all these the circular cardboard shields. Everybody's walking around with a 300 shield on their arm, this and that. I see Phil, and then I got my shield on. I say, "This is Sparta!" And then I charging star him with the fucking shield, boom, right into his fucking back. And then he goes to the floor and he starts like rolling around or whatever, like kind of overacted like a soccer player. Because I think after that he runs to the cannonball and is like, "Hey, did you see that? Did you see that?" And they're like, "You didn't see nothing, man. We're over here busy running the tournament or whatever." And then so he knew from that. and then after that, that was it.
Yeah.
And in that area.
So
After
that, hold on,
that,
real quick, Let me stop
go
you.
ahead,
That
go
kind
ahead,
of
go
a
ahead.
still funny. That was still kind of a, hey, this is kind of, we're bros chilling kind of joke there, or was it like clearly animosity was there?
No, that
Okay.
was like, hey, fucking, let
Okay.
me just be a fucking dick. He's over here,
Okay.
and I got my fucking shield. This is Sparta. Boom, and just fucking, fucking shoulder charge him. You know what I mean? Just to let him know, like
Okay. Business
we're
time. Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
we're here to fuck you up. We're serious, man. So he
Okay.
knew we were business. He started getting worried. He started getting scared. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, my phone dropped.
Yeah.
And he knew we were for real. You know what I mean? So um let me see. So he's walking around carefully. We catch him outside when he goes outside, and he leaves. He's going into those parking lots that go up and up and up, those
Yeah.
circular type of parking lots.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um he says that he was set up or whatever, or he was framed. He likes to say that, like
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
like Viscon is the one that said, "Hey, he's over here. Come fuck
Yeah.
him up." No,
Yeah.
it wasn't like that. We were looking for him, and all he was doing was staying with Jay, and Jay was giving him a ride.
Yep.
So, we catch him, and he's going up the parking lot, and then we're starting to like come after him, and I hear this from Jay. Jay was telling me that Phil was like, "Hey man, Jaha and Watson are coming after us, dude. Do you want to run?" And Viscon and Viscon was like, "You can run. I'm not gonna run. That's your problem." So they're just walking fast up the parking lot, and then they stop. And when I asked Mike about the story again, he's like, "Yeah, I think they got tired or something. I don't know why the fuck he stopped, but what is it? They got to their car finally, so they
Yeah.
stopped." And that's when we swarm on Phil, and I'm fucking like, fucking, what's up, man? Let's go, we're ready. Fuck this guy up, this and that, and then Phil's like bobbing and weaving, like there's nothing there, but he's like, dude, he's fucking scared, and Watson was like, hey, why are you talking all that shit? What the fuck? Let's go, man. I'll fuck you up right now, and that's how. He started breaking into the crying and like, dude, I was drunk. I don't remember what I was saying. So Mike is seeing this guy cry. So then he's at the point where like, all right, we're gonna call it off, and
Yeah.
he told Phil like, hey, me, Jaha, anybody, dude, like we don't want to hear our names just ever come out of your mouth, ever, and it worked for a good decade, man. Because I'll be honest with you, a couple years back, I would like say something to Phil's chat while he's playing Street Fighter and whatever, and he'll just ignore it, like he doesn't see what I'm saying or anything. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's because I didn't tip, because he
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
responds to people that tip and stuff like that. So I used the Amazon Prime sub. Oh, Jaha Base God became a subscriber or whatever.
Yeah.
No shout out, nothing. Like did not say my name, like silence. So, and it just and so he really did keep our names out of his mouth for quite a long time. It wasn't until that when he did that down the whatever review of his old video down the rabbit hole, that he's actually like addressed us. You know what I mean? Like he's really kept us out of the name. But
So
that's the
awesome
lore
story.
on that.
That's the lore on that one, and that's the shield part. I think it's like that part's kind of lost to history. I'm glad that got out. I want to go through each step though, real quick, Jaha, if I could, just to make sure we get the facts straight. Nothing taken out of context. You have said that there was no setup. Phil thought there was a setup. That Viscon story is too good. You want to run? You run, not me. That's awesome.
Oh man, yeah, that was great. I talked to Jay, and he was telling me some of the things that happened. Like he's saying every time I like flinched, he was like ducking and weaving from punches that weren't even there. Is the way to describe it.
So
Say it, but yeah,
he did say. So he did say, "Hey, I don't remember what I said. I was drunk." That is a true statement from Phil. Then he did say that. Okay.
Yes, and then after we let him go, and then we left, and they got in Jay's car, and they were driving home. Jay was telling me he was so fucking scared. Like he was still like almost crying, and like he was asking like, "Does Watson know where you live? Like, what if he comes over tonight?" Like it was still like I mean, dude, when you have somebody scared to the bone, dude, that's like where we had him down to. But I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, and also he said he admitted to Mike then he was an alcoholic. Did you have not? That is a true statement as well, right?
Yes, he was saying he was drunk. He didn't know what he says, or he didn't remember it. Just. I mean, really, just trying to get out. Like, I mean, what else can you say to get out of that?
Yeah,
without any blood.
Here's the key point, because this is the part that is kind of new information from Phil that I want to check on. Phil claims he put his arms behind his back and said, "Hit me if you want to. If that will make you feel better, hit me. Go ahead." Did that happen or not happen?
Gosh, I don't remember that because if he asked me to hit him, dude, I would fucking hit him, bro. Like, I mean, it's not like I don't know if I remember that, like him being
Okay.
that brave about it. I gotta ask Watson and Jay about that. Sorry, guys, like
Yeah.
that my memory's fuzzy on this one. I had to recall. I forgot I did the whole charging star with the 300 shield and all that stuff. I had to recall some of this stuff and hear from the other side. But no, yeah, I can't really confirm that, but
Okay.
I
It
doubt
seems
it,
kind of
man.
brave, right?
If he put his hands behind and asked me to hit him, dude, I really would. Like I would not like.
Wait. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted it to happen, man. I was a rabid dog back then, man. You know, I was just
Mm.
I was ready to go. I
So
was a
did,
different person back then. That's why it
did
was hard for me to remember.
yeah, did he was he did he say real quick, Meerkat, it's a good question. Did he say he was drunk or did he say I'm an alcoholic at that time? I want to get the distinction. I mean, it's a tough ask. 12 more than
He
10
said
years
he
ago.
was drunk when he was talking shit.
Okay, there was no
And
I'm an alcoholic.
yeah,
I
no,
can
no, but
okay, okay.
he said he was drunk and he doesn't recall or know what he was saying. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
and he
And
was crying.
final point, he did say the next day he did take care of Mike Watson at this tournament. Was this the tournament that was the Neo Geo conversion or is this a different tournament?
This was that uh game version, the
Okay, okay.
Neo Geo version,
Yeah.
and I think he did beat Mike, and I
Okay.
think they did. And then it was the next main Evo tournament. That was the one where he got fourth. So, yeah, with this version of the game, he was really going on a run because he found some broke shit that worked, and yeah, so
Yeah, yeah. We don't need to go through
that
that
is
story, but
true.
yeah. We know that story of how Phil did get fourth, but that's only because the real big players didn't give a shit about that version, blah, blah, blah. We know that for
Yeah.
sure. I would get back to Sam, any questions, follow-up questions there? Make sure that story got out perfectly there.
No, I mean, everyone's talking about the alcoholic versus drunk thing, and I think I mean, in my opinion, I think I'd probably side with everyone here that that was a retcon. He's happy to say he was an alcoholic. You don't just stop being an alcoholic, so. Yeah, so I think there's some bullshit being talked there for sure.
Yeah.
It's the same old Phil from like
Yeah.
that's over 12 years ago. That was and it's the same old Phil where there's no accountability, makes an
Yeah.
excuse for talking shit, and when it was time to pay the piper,
I don't
nothing
care
else he could do
how
to wiggle out of.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't give a shit how low he has to stoop to get himself out of it. If he has to cry and say he's an alcoholic, he'll do it. So, but
Yeah. Bunkei, I want to ask you because I listed a lot of your shows, and Phil was a very frequent caller, right? Even after you guys did a little feud, he was calling all the time, right?
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and the thing about it though is that it's almost as if he had short-term memory loss, and so he forgot that hey, I threatened to cut your balls off and ram it down your throat. But let's continue on like nothing ever happened.
Okay.
You know, 'Cause, I mean that's exactly what he did. He hung up the phone, and and at that point I realized that this is a guy that's really the definition of all bar for nobody.
Oh
And
yeah.
so so at from that time period onward, I didn't take him seriously,
Mhm.
and 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 I just know that he's just a big blowhard. I mean, he was just talking a lot, and again, I go back to what I said originally. In a weird sort of way, I kind of feel sorry for the dude because I really do think that this dude needs help. I don't say that disparaging. I really do think this dude needs help. As
Yes.
you guys pointed out, addictions just don't go away.
No.
They
And I think
just
we all agree with you.
manifest just